The most destructive man-made weapons? Nuclear weapons are kept in very safe places to prevent anyone unauthorized from getting near them. But occasionally, these powerful weapons need to be moved from one spot to another. Imagine a weapon that can wipe out a whole city now traveling down the regular roads we use daily. It's such a crucial security challenge that the US government has a whole agency just for this job. The Office of Secure Transportation, OST, is responsible for the safe and secure transport of government-owned special nuclear materials in the contiguous United States. These classified shipments can contain nuclear weapons or components, enriched uranium or plutonium. These transport operations are commonly known as TCHD convoys. What kind of configuration is used depends on the route being taken and how sensitive the nuclear material being moved is. However, it is usual for local police cars to be at the front and back of the convoy, especially in cities. This protects the drivers and makes sure that the vehicles can drive through areas with a lot of people without stopping. The actual convoy starts behind the police and includes several armored vehicles close to the truck, and they are bulletproof cars that protect the agents from attacks and also defend themselves across the whole car. Shots can be fired through several gun holes without the officers having to get out of the car. Inside, there are handguns, shotguns, and assault weapons for the federal agents to use against any possible threat. In some cases, a powerful machine gun with protective plating is mounted on top of a Bearcat to give it even more firepower. The cars come with sound systems that let you talk on 3 different levels. The cars can first talk to each other, which lets them quickly plan what to do if something unexpected happens. A Bearcat gives it even more strength. That being said, all of this is only done in case something dangerous happens, and weapons have to be used on a regular drive to protect the nuclear cargo. All of these cars work together as a mobile command center, so the agents inside are busy taking steps to make sure that something unwanted doesn't happen. On the second level of connection, agents regularly check in with other supporting forces in the area. Safety rules say that a nuclear convoy must always have at least 7 armed vehicles with it, but only 5 of them can be seen here. This is because the other 2 vehicles are monitoring places that are far away, like a few miles ahead, to keep an eye on things. Every 30 minutes, the captain, who is in one of the cars following the nuclear transporter, calls these remote agents to find out what new threats there might be along the way. This also makes sure that communication systems can't be shut down all at once, and that the 5 cars in the convoy will still be safe if something does happen. The other 2 can still call for help. There is also a third level of communication because the officers are always in touch with the Transportation and Emergency Control Center in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The control center sent passwords to the convoy crew and local police through the dispatcher. Both parties shout their password agent Bravo components as the police come. This prevents opponents from posing as police to steal nuclear cargo. The convoy's central car is a safeguard transporter, a specialized nuclear weapon carrier. Because the truck's hull is built of robust metal, most traditional tools won't cut or saw through it. The hold is flame resistant and can hold strong for hours, so no accident will burst open the shell and spill deadly contents on the road or countryside. The driver is protected by bulletproof glass. The windshield, windows, and doors can only be opened from the inside, and its 25-ton weight may prevent it from making quick, evasive maneuvers. This transport security concept uses weight to keep the vehicle glued to the road and requires a huge force to tip it over. The axle bar under the truck holds all explosives in case of a catastrophic convoy incident. These explosives destroy the axle, stopping the vehicle and making it immobile. If anyone tried to haul the trailer away, they'd be dragging a large chunk of heavy metal against the road without wheels, support, or access to the cargo hold outside of high security areas where the US military keeps the electronic keys. In case someone breaks fruit, the transporter's cargo hold can shoot heavy foam on intruders. This would severely limit their movement and bind them. These security systems make nukes nearly impossible. If the foam isn't enough, a massive electric shock can be sent through the hold to kill any surviving assailants. The most destructive weapons ever devised fall into the wrong hands, and 2 US military helicopters oversee the convoy, providing a bird's-eye view of the mission. These helicopters also contain backup forces in case of emergency. Transporting nukes was always a challenge for the safety of people, and sometimes in the war. Historic transportation of nukes was beyond someone's imagination. The RT-23 Molodets, also known as the nuclear ghost train, was a Soviet intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, developed during the Cold War era. It gained its nickname due to its unique mobile deployment strategy, which made it difficult for Western intelligence agencies to track and target. During the 1960s, American high-altitude espionage missions revealed the existence and exact locations of Soviet nuclear missiles, including missile silos. This posed a significant challenge because once the locations were known, they became potential targets for preemptive strikes in case of a nuclear conflict. The RT-23 Molodets addressed this vulnerability by being a mobile ICBM system. Instead of being deployed in fixed silos like many other missiles, it was designed to be constantly on the move, operating from railway cars. This mobility made it harder for Western intelligence to predict and target, earning it the moniker nuclear ghost train. The scary thing about this train is that it would look like any other train. The official translation from Russian says that the combat train-based missile complex would be made up of 17 rail cars. The train cars would be made up of the following: 3 changed M62 engines, 3 launch wagons, and 2 support wagons, a total of 9 rail cars for each, 1 diesel and lubricant wagon, and 4 rail cars for the crew. Each of these train cars would be a master, either a passenger car or a refrigerator car, making this train look like any other regular train in the world. If you were trying to find these trains, you would have to aim at almost every civil train in the USSR, and there's no promise that you would hit the right one. It is planned that the train could go at least 1,000 kilometers per day in case it had to be sent to battle. It would be able to cruise at an average speed of 80 to 120 kilometers per hour. The train was also built so that it could short-circuit the power lines above and use the energy that was created. Because of its size and supplies, the train was also designed to be able to run on its own for up to 28 days if necessary. This meant that even if the order was lost, the train could still fire the missiles and guarantee that both sides would be destroyed in a nuclear war. Transporting nuclear weapons, whether by air, land, or sea, presents immense challenges and risks. The intricate security measures and covert operations involved underscore the gravity of handling such powerful and potentially catastrophic weapons. The ghost train of Russia, with its deceptive civilian appearance and strategic capabilities, exemplifies the intricate dance of secrecy and readiness in nuclear logistics. The Cold War era and subsequent decades have seen advancements in transportation methods for nuclear arsenals, aiming to balance mobility with security. However, the very nature of nuclear weapons necessitates a continuous reassessment of transportation protocols to mitigate the ever-evolving threats posed by espionage, terrorism, or accidental incidents. As technology progresses, so do the strategies for safeguarding nuclear transport, incorporating advanced surveillance, communication, and defense systems. Yet the specter of a nuclear catastrophe looms large, underscoring the critical importance of stringent protocols, international cooperation, and diplomatic efforts to prevent any mishap or malicious intent during the transportation of these weapons of mass destruction. In conclusion, the transportation of nuclear warheads remains a complex and delicate operation, demanding constant vigilance, innovation, and global cooperation to ensure the safety and security of nations and the world at large.